Imagine a life where you are free from the anxiety of comparisons, where your mind is a fortress of tranquility, unshaken by the chaos around you. This isn't just a dream, it's a reality you can achieve by focusing on yourself, not others. In today's video, we'll explore powerful Stoic teachings that will help you reclaim your mental space, channel your energy towards what truly matters, and become the best version of yourself. Get ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Are you excited? Let's dive in. Number 1. Visualize your ideal self. Alright, let's dive deep into the concept of visualizing your ideal self. This idea, though simple in theory, can be transformative when applied with intention and consistency. So, let's unpack it in a way that's both engaging and relatable. Imagine this: you're standing at the edge of a cliff, looking out at a vast, open sea. The horizon is endless, just like your potential. Now, think about who you want to be. Not who society says you should be, not who your parents want you to be, but who you, deep down in your core, desire to become. This is your ideal self. Your ideal self isn't some static, unchanging figure. It's dynamic, ever-evolving, much like the waves crashing against that cliff. It's important to start by painting a vivid mental picture of this person. Close your eyes and visualize. See yourself with all the traits, habits, and qualities you admire. Are you more disciplined? Patient? Kind? Do you handle stress with a calm, collected demeanor? Picture every detail, down to the way you smile at strangers or the confidence in your stride. Visualization isn't just daydreaming. It's a powerful tool that athletes, performers, and successful individuals use regularly. Why? Because our minds are incredibly potent. When you consistently visualize your ideal self, you're essentially training your brain to recognize and seek out opportunities to become that person. Let's take it a step further. Visualization needs to be vivid and multisensory. It's not just about seeing yourself in your mind's eye, it's about feeling the emotions and sensations associated with being your ideal self. How does it feel to wake up every morning with a sense of purpose? What's the sensation of being in complete alignment with your values and goals? The more details you can conjure up, the more real and attainable this version of you becomes. But don't stop there. Let's make it practical. Break down this ideal version of yourself into actionable steps. If your ideal self is a person who reads every day, start with 10 minutes a day. If there's someone who exercises regularly, begin with a short daily walk. These small, consistent actions build up over time, bringing you closer to the person you envision. Now, here's the kicker: it's crucial to revisit this vision regularly. Life gets busy, distractions are everywhere, and it's easy to lose sight of your goals. Make it a daily ritual. Maybe it's the first thing you do when you wake up or the last thing before you drift off to sleep. Spend a few moments each day reinforcing this mental image. You might be thinking, this sounds great, but what about the challenges? What about the days when I don't feel like it? That's where the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control comes into play. You can't always control external circumstances, but you can control your effort and attitude. On tough days, remind yourself why this ideal matters to you. Reflect on the benefits you've already started to notice. Every step, no matter how small, is progress. Here's a little tip: keep a journal. Write about your visualizations, your progress, and even your setbacks. There's something powerful about putting thoughts into words. It not only reinforces your commitment but also provides a tangible record of your journey. On days when you're feeling discouraged, looking back at how far you've come can be incredibly motivating. And let's not forget the power of gratitude. As you visualize your ideal self, also take a moment to appreciate who you are right now and the progress you've made so far. Gratitude creates a positive mindset, making it easier to stay committed to your vision. So, next time you find yourself caught up in comparison or distracted by what others are doing, pause. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and bring your focus back to that mental image of your ideal self. Remember, this journey is uniquely yours. It's not about perfection, it's about progress and becoming the best version of yourself, one step at a time. In conclusion, visualizing your ideal self is like setting your internal compass. It gives you direction, purpose, and a sense of control over your personal growth. Embrace this practice, make it a part of your daily routine, and watch as you gradually transform into the person you've always aspired to be. Number 2, practice silent reflection. Imagine you're in the middle of a hectic day, emails flying in, notifications buzzing, people asking for your attention left and right. It's pure chaos. But then, you find a quiet corner, maybe your favorite chair or a cozy nook in a park, and you just sit. You let the silence envelop you. Sounds kind of peaceful, right? That's the magic of silent reflection. Silent reflection is like hitting the pause button on the chaos of life. It's not about meditating for hours or achieving some Zen-like state. It's just taking a few moments to step back and think. Think about your day, your actions, your thoughts. It's a time to check in with yourself, without the noise and distractions that usually fill our lives. Think of it like this: our minds are like a cluttered room. Every day, we accumulate more and more stuff, thoughts, worries, to-dos. Silent reflection is like tidying up that room. It's taking a few minutes to sort through the mess and find some clarity. You might realize that a problem you've been stressing about isn't that big of a deal, or that you've been neglecting something important. It's about gaining perspective. Now, let's talk about how to actually do this. You don't need any fancy equipment or special skills. All you need is a bit of time and a quiet space. Start by setting aside just 5 minutes. Find a place where you won't be disturbed. It could be your bedroom, your backyard, even your car if that's where you can find some peace. Sit comfortably, close your eyes if you want, and just breathe. In and out, nice and slow. As you breathe, start to let your mind wander. Don't force it to think about anything specific. Just let it go where it wants to go. You might find yourself thinking about your day, or a conversation you had, or something that's been bothering you. That's okay. The goal isn't to control your thoughts, but to observe them. While you're observing, try to do so without judgment. If you start thinking about something negative, don't beat yourself up about it. Just acknowledge it and let it pass. Imagine your thoughts are like clouds drifting across the sky. You don't try to hold onto them, you just watch them float by. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking: I don't have time for this. But here's the thing: silent reflection doesn't have to be a big time commitment. Even just a few minutes a day can make a huge difference. It's like a mental reset button. You might find that after those few minutes, you feel calmer, more focused, and ready to tackle whatever comes next. Another great thing about silent reflection is that it can help you get to know yourself better. We spend so much time focusing on what's happening around us, work, family, social media, that we often forget to check in with ourselves. Silent reflection is a way to reconnect with who you are and what you really want. It's like having a heart-to-heart with yourself. And here's a little tip: try to make it a habit. Pick a time of day that works for you, maybe first thing in the morning, or right before bed. Consistency is key. The more you practice silent reflection, the easier it will become. It's like building muscles. At first, it might feel a bit awkward or uncomfortable, but stick with it. Over time, you'll start to look forward to those quiet moments. You might also find that silent reflection helps you deal with stress and anxiety. When you take a few minutes to sit quietly and just breathe, it can help calm your mind and body. It's a way to step back from the hustle and bustle of life and find a bit of peace. And who couldn't use a bit more peace, right? So, give it a try. Find a quiet spot, take a few deep breaths, and just be. Let your mind wander, observe your thoughts, and see what comes up. You might be surprised at what you discover. Silent reflection is a simple but powerful tool. It's a way to reconnect with yourself, gain some clarity, and find a bit of peace in a busy world. And remember, it's not about being perfect or achieving some kind of enlightenment. It's just about taking a few moments to pause, breathe, and reflect. And that's something we all can do. Number 3, create a personal philosophy. Creating a personal philosophy is a foundational practice in Stoicism that can profoundly impact your life. It's about developing a set of guiding principles that help you navigate the complexities of the world, maintain inner peace, and stay true to your values. This process involves deep introspection, self-awareness, and a commitment to continuous self-improvement. To begin, reflect on your core values. These values are the fundamental beliefs that drive your actions and decisions. To uncover them, ask yourself what principles are most important to you, what kind of person you aspire to be, and how you want to be remembered. Spend time reflecting on these questions and write down your thoughts. Common values might include integrity, honesty, kindness, perseverance, and wisdom. Recognizing these values provides a solid foundation for your personal philosophy. Understanding your purpose is also essential. A personal philosophy is deeply connected to your sense of purpose, which gives your life direction and meaning. To find your purpose, consider what activities make you feel fulfilled and energized. Think about the contributions you want to make to the world and the legacy you wish to leave behind. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand. It can be as simple as being a supportive friend or making a positive impact in your community. Studying Stoic principles can offer timeless wisdom that enriches your personal philosophy. The core tenets of Stoicism include the idea that virtue is the highest good, focusing on what you can control, accepting fate with grace, and living in accordance with nature. Virtue encompasses qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Focusing on what you can control means paying attention to your thoughts, actions, and responses, while letting go of what you cannot influence. Embracing the concept of amor fati, or loving your fate, helps you accept whatever happens with grace and equanimity. Living in accordance with nature involves aligning your life with nature's rhythms and respecting the interconnectedness of all things. With your core values and purpose in mind, and inspired by Stoic teachings, you can start crafting your guiding principles. These principles will serve as your moral compass, helping you make decisions and stay true to yourself. For example, practicing gratitude regularly reminds you of the good things in your life, helping you stay grounded and appreciate the present moment. Cultivating resilience means embracing challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth, strengthening your ability to bounce back from adversity. Seeking wisdom involves continuously striving to learn and grow, engaging in lifelong learning, and seeking knowledge from various sources. Acting with integrity ensures that your actions align with your values, promoting honesty, fairness, and consistency in your dealings with others. Embracing simplicity focuses your attention on what truly matters and eliminates unnecessary distractions, bringing peace and clarity to your life. Creating a personal philosophy is an ongoing process. It's not enough to simply write down your guiding principles, you must actively implement them in your daily life. Spend a few minutes each day reflecting on your actions and decisions, considering whether they align with your personal philosophy. Engaging in mindfulness practices such as meditation can enhance your self-awareness and help you stay centered. Seeking feedback from trusted friends or mentors can provide valuable perspectives and help you stay accountable. As you grow and evolve, your personal philosophy may need to be adjusted. Life is dynamic, and so are your values and goals. Periodically review and reassess your guiding principles to ensure they still resonate with you. Be open to change and willing to adapt your philosophy as needed. Your personal philosophy is not just for your benefit, it can also inspire others. By living according to your principles, you become a role model for those around you. Your actions can influence and motivate others to reflect on their own values and create their personal philosophies. In conclusion, creating a personal philosophy is a transformative journey that helps you focus on yourself rather than others. It empowers you to live a life of purpose, integrity, and inner peace. By identifying your core values, understanding your purpose, studying Stoic principles, crafting guiding principles, implementing them in your daily life, and being open to evolution, you can develop a personal philosophy that guides you through life's challenges and triumphs. This philosophy will be a source of strength, wisdom, and resilience, helping you navigate the complexities of the world with clarity and confidence. Number 4. Engage in voluntary discomfort. Engaging in voluntary discomfort is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, a practice that prepares individuals to face the inevitable challenges of life with resilience and composure. By willingly subjecting ourselves to discomfort, we train our minds and bodies to endure hardships, thereby fostering a sense of inner strength and tranquility. This concept, rooted in the teachings of ancient Stoics such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, encourages us to step out of our comfort zones regularly and embrace the difficulties that come our way. Voluntary discomfort can take many forms, each serving as a means to build fortitude and self-discipline. One common practice is physical exercise. The rigors of a challenging workout push our bodies to their limits, simulating the physical strains we might encounter in our daily lives. By embracing the pain and exhaustion of exercise, we learn to persevere through physical discomfort, making us more resilient to unexpected hardships. The sweat and strain of a workout serve as a metaphor for life's struggles, teaching us that endurance and effort are essential to overcoming obstacles. Another method is fasting. Depriving ourselves of food for a set period, whether it's skipping a meal or engaging in a longer fast, teaches us to manage hunger and appreciate the abundance we often take for granted. Fasting cultivates self-control, showing us that we can endure temporary deprivation without succumbing to weakness. It reminds us that our bodies are capable of far more than we often give them credit for, and that discomfort is transient and manageable. Cold exposure is yet another practice of voluntary discomfort. Taking cold showers or plunging into icy waters can be a shock to the system, but it also serves as a powerful exercise in mental toughness. The initial shock of cold water forces us to confront our immediate discomfort and manage our reaction to it. By acclimating ourselves to cold temperatures, we learn to control our breathing, calm our minds, and push through the discomfort. This practice not only strengthens our physical resilience but also enhances our ability to stay calm and composed under pressure. Beyond physical practices, voluntary discomfort can also be applied to our mental and emotional lives. Challenging ourselves to confront our fears and anxieties head-on is a powerful form of self-imposed discomfort. Whether it's public speaking, tackling a difficult project, or having a tough conversation, facing these challenges helps us build confidence and emotional strength. By deliberately putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations, we learn to manage stress and anxiety, ultimately reducing their impact on our lives. Living with less is another way to engage in voluntary discomfort. Simplifying our lives by reducing our possessions and living more frugally teaches us to detach from material wealth and find contentment in simplicity. This practice, often referred to as minimalism, aligns with Stoic principles by encouraging us to focus on what truly matters. By willingly giving up luxuries and excess, we cultivate a sense of gratitude for what we have and develop the ability to thrive with less. Engaging in voluntary discomfort also involves practicing self-discipline in our daily habits. This might include adhering to a strict schedule, setting and maintaining high standards for ourselves, or committing to personal goals despite obstacles. Self-discipline is the backbone of Stoic practice, as it enables us to maintain control over our actions and reactions. By consistently challenging ourselves to stay disciplined, we build the mental fortitude needed to face life's uncertainties with grace and determination. The benefits of voluntary discomfort extend beyond personal growth. They also enhance our interactions with others. When we cultivate inner strength and resilience, we become more reliable and supportive friends, family members, and colleagues. Our ability to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity sets an example for those around us, inspiring them to adopt similar practices. Moreover, by experiencing discomfort ourselves, we develop greater empathy and understanding for others' struggles, fostering deeper connections and more compassionate relationships. Voluntary discomfort is not about seeking pain for its own sake, but rather about embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. It is a proactive approach to life's difficulties, teaching us to view adversity as a teacher rather than an enemy. By regularly stepping outside our comfort zones, we prepare ourselves to handle whatever life throws our way with resilience and equanimity. This practice aligns with the core tenets of Stoicism, reminding us that true strength comes from within and that the path to tranquility is paved with perseverance and self-discipline. Incorporating voluntary discomfort into our lives is a powerful way to cultivate the Stoic virtues of courage, wisdom, temperance, and justice. It helps us develop the mental and physical resilience needed to navigate the complexities of modern life while staying true to our principles. By embracing discomfort, we not only strengthen ourselves but also contribute to a more resilient and compassionate society. Number 5. Record your dreams and aspirations. Alright, let's dive into this idea of recording your dreams and aspirations. I know it might sound a bit cliché, but trust me, there's magic in putting pen to paper or, for the more tech-savvy among us, typing it out on a digital note. You see, our minds are often a chaotic mess of thoughts, worries, and ideas, constantly buzzing around like a hive of bees. By recording our dreams and aspirations, we're essentially giving structure to that chaos. It's like clearing the fog to see the path ahead more clearly. When you jot down your dreams, something incredible happens. It's like you're telling the universe, "Hey, I'm serious about this." It's a declaration of intent. Have you ever noticed how thoughts feel fleeting, almost intangible, but once you write them down, they suddenly become real? That's because you've taken an abstract concept and given it form. It's no longer just a thought, it's a plan, a goal, a mission. Now, let's talk about why this is important from a Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. When you record your dreams and aspirations, you're taking control of your future. You're setting your sights on what matters to you, not what others think should matter. This is your journey, your path. And having a clear map makes all the difference. Imagine you're embarking on a long road trip. Would you rather have a map, or would you prefer wandering aimlessly, hoping you'll somehow reach your destination? Recording your dreams is like having that map. It gives you direction and purpose. And here's the kicker, it's okay if your dreams change along the way. Life is fluid, and so are our aspirations. The key is to keep revisiting and refining them. Let's make this a bit more personal. Think about a time when you had a dream, but it felt too big, too far out of reach. Maybe it was starting a new business, writing a book, or even traveling the world. These dreams can seem daunting when they're just floating around in your head. But when you break them down into smaller, manageable goals, they suddenly feel achievable. Write down the steps you need to take, no matter how small they seem. Each step is progress, and progress is what keeps us moving forward. Here's a tip, don't just record your dreams, but also why they matter to you. What's the underlying motivation? Is it financial freedom, creative fulfillment, a desire to help others? Understanding your why gives your dreams more depth and meaning. It's like adding color to a black and white sketch. And let's not forget the power of visualization. When you write down your dreams, take a moment to close your eyes and visualize achieving them. Feel the emotions, the excitement, the satisfaction. This mental rehearsal can be incredibly motivating. It's like giving your brain a sneak peek of what's to come, and it loves that. But hey, let's be real for a second. There will be days when you feel like you're getting nowhere. Your dreams might seem impossible, and doubt will creep in. That's when you need to revisit your recordings. Look at how far you've come, the progress you've made, even if it's just a small step. Celebrate those little victories because they add up. You know what else helps? Sharing your dreams with someone you trust. It could be a friend, a mentor, or even an online community. Sharing makes it more real and holds you accountable. Plus, you might get some valuable feedback and encouragement along the way. So, grab that journal, open that app, and start recording your dreams and aspirations today. Make it a habit. Reflect on them regularly, tweak them as needed, and watch how your focus shifts from what others are doing to what you're creating for yourself. This is your life, your story. Make it a good one. In the grand scheme of things, our time here is limited. Why spend it chasing someone else's dreams when you have your own waiting to be realized? Stay true to yourself, stay focused, and keep moving forward. The journey might be long, but it's yours, and that's what makes it beautiful. Number 6, develop self-discipline. Developing self-discipline is like planting a seed that, with care and patience, grows into a sturdy, resilient tree. It's not about strict rules or harsh restrictions, but about nurturing habits that help you flourish. Let's break it down in a way that's more like a friendly chat than a lecture. First off, think about self-discipline as a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. But hey, just like you wouldn't lift the heaviest weights on your first day at the gym, you don't need to make massive changes overnight. Start small. Pick one area of your life where you feel a bit out of control. Maybe it's snacking, or perhaps it's spending too much time on social media. Whatever it is, make a tiny, manageable change. Instead of cutting out snacks entirely, swap that bag of chips for some fruit a couple of times a week. Instead of banning social media, set a timer for how long you'll scroll each day. Small wins build confidence and momentum. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Developing self-discipline isn't about denying yourself pleasure or turning into a robot. It's more about creating a balance where you're in control, not your impulses. Imagine you're driving a car. Without self-discipline, it's like letting go of the steering wheel and hoping you don't crash. With self-discipline, you're hands-on, navigating the twists and turns with a clear direction. Let's talk about the role of routines. Routines can seem boring, but they're actually your best friend in the journey to self-discipline. Establishing a routine means making decisions in advance, which frees up mental space for more important things. For instance, if you decide to exercise every morning, you don't waste energy each day debating whether to work out or not. It's just part of your routine. But don't get too rigid. Leave some room for flexibility because life is unpredictable. Think of your routine as a guideline, not a prison. Another biggie is self-awareness. You've got to know yourself, your triggers, your weaknesses, and your strengths. Self-discipline isn't one size fits all. Maybe you're more productive in the morning, or perhaps you hit your stride in the evening. Tailor your habits to fit your personal rhythm. If you know you're likely to skip your evening workout, plan for a morning session instead. Understanding your own patterns can help you set realistic and achievable goals. Now, let's talk about the infamous inner critic. Developing self-discipline doesn't mean you'll never slip up. You will. And that's okay. The key is how you respond to those slip-ups. Instead of beating yourself up, treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend. Slip-ups are part of the process. Reflect on what went wrong and how you can do better next time. It's about progress, not perfection. Remember, rewards are a crucial part of building self-discipline. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Did you stick to your new habit for a week? Treat yourself to something special, whether it's a nice meal, a new book, or simply a relaxing evening off. Rewards reinforce positive behavior and make the whole process more enjoyable. It's also super helpful to find a role model or mentor. Look for someone who embodies the level of self-discipline you aspire to. This could be a historical figure, a public personality, or someone in your life. Learn from their habits and mindset. Sometimes, seeing what's possible through someone else's journey can be incredibly motivating. Lastly, keep the bigger picture in mind. Self-discipline is a tool that helps you achieve your goals and live a more fulfilling life. It's not an end in itself, but a means to create the life you want. Focus on your why. Why do you want to develop self-discipline? Maybe it's to be healthier, to feel more in control, or to achieve a dream. Keeping your ultimate goal in mind can help you stay motivated when the going gets tough. So, there you have it. Self-discipline isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about setting yourself up for success, one small step at a time. With patience, self-awareness, and a bit of kindness to yourself, you'll find that self-discipline can be your strongest ally on the road to personal growth and fulfillment. Keep at it, and watch how your life transforms, one disciplined choice at a time. Number 7, set boundaries on your time. Time, as the Stoics say, is our most precious resource. Once spent, it's gone forever. So, how do we make sure we're using it wisely? One way is by setting boundaries on our time. Let's break this down in a more relaxed and conversational way, shall we? Picture this: you've got a day off, and you've planned to spend it on activities that matter to you. Maybe it's reading a book you've been dying to dive into, working on a personal project, or simply enjoying some much-needed rest. But then, out of the blue, a friend calls you up asking for a favor, or your coworker pings you with a non-urgent work query. Before you know it, your day is hijacked, and your plans are out the window. Sound familiar? Setting boundaries on your time is about reclaiming control over your schedule and making sure your precious hours aren't constantly being taken up by other people's priorities. It's not about being selfish, it's about being mindful of how you invest your time. And guess what? It's totally okay to say no. Imagine your time as a bank account. Every minute is like $1. Would you let just anyone walk up and take your money without a second thought? Of course not. So why let them take your time? First things first, get clear on what truly matters to you. This is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. What are your core values? What activities bring you joy and fulfillment? Once you know this, it becomes easier to spot when your time is being spent on things that don't align with your values. Let's talk about creating a no list. Sounds weird, right? But it's a game changer. Write down activities or types of requests that you'll automatically decline. For example, if you're committed to writing a book, you might decide to say no to social events that don't directly support this goal. Or maybe you decide to limit the number of favors you do for friends each week. Now, it's not just about saying no, it's about doing it gracefully. You don't have to be abrupt or rude. A simple, "I'd love to help, but I've got other commitments right now," works wonders. People will respect your honesty and your time. Remember, it's also about training yourself to respect your own time. This means setting specific hours for work, for relaxation, and for personal projects, and sticking to them. No more checking work emails during family dinners or staying up late to help a friend move if it means compromising your well-being. Let's not forget about digital boundaries. In this age of constant connectivity, it's easy to get sucked into the endless vortex of notifications, messages, And emails. Schedule specific times to check your messages instead of responding instantly. Trust me, the world won't end if you don't reply right away. Turn off unnecessary notifications and create a digital environment that supports your focus. Speaking of focus, the Pomodoro technique can be a real lifesaver. Work in focused sprints of 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. After 4 cycles, take a longer break. This method not only boosts productivity but also helps you stick to your boundaries by breaking your work into manageable chunks. Also, enlist some accountability. Share your boundaries with a friend or family member who can help keep you on track. Sometimes just knowing someone else is aware of your goals can be enough to keep you honest with yourself. Lastly, don't be too hard on yourself. Setting and maintaining boundaries is a skill that takes practice. There will be times when you slip up, and that's okay. Reflect on what happened, learn from it, and get back on track. In the end, setting boundaries on your time is about creating a life that's true to your values and goals. It's about making sure that your time is spent on what matters most to you. And that's a pretty stoic way to live, don't you think? Number 8. Challenge your assumptions regularly. Challenging your assumptions regularly is a key point in focusing on yourself rather than others, and it's a crucial element of Stoic philosophy. The idea here is to question the things you take for granted, the beliefs you hold, and the stories you tell yourself. It's about staying curious and open-minded. So, let's break it down in a fun, relatable way. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I just know how this is going to turn out, and then it doesn't? Like when you're convinced that your friend is upset with you because they didn't reply to your message right away, only to find out they were just busy. It's crazy how our minds can jump to conclusions, right? This is where challenging your assumptions comes in. Assumptions are those sneaky little thoughts that creep in and shape how we see the world, often without us even realizing it. They can be about anything, how we think people see us, what we believe we're capable of, or even how we interpret events around us. The Stoics were all about questioning these assumptions to live a more rational, serene life. Let's start with a simple exercise. When you catch yourself making an assumption, pause and ask yourself, is this true? Seriously, it's a game changer. If you think someone is mad at you, ask yourself, do I have concrete evidence for this? More often than not, you'll realize that you're jumping to conclusions without much to go on. Another good one is to flip the script. Try to see things from another perspective. Let's say you assume your boss is ignoring your emails because they're dissatisfied with your work. Flip it. Maybe they're swamped with other priorities, or perhaps they trust you to handle things independently. This helps break the cycle of negative thinking and opens up new ways of understanding a situation. Ever heard of the phrase, get out of your comfort zone? Well, it's directly tied to challenging your assumptions. Our comfort zones are built on assumptions about what's safe, what's possible, and what's expected of us. By stepping out, we're forced to confront these assumptions head-on. Try something new, something that scares you a little. You'll often find that the things you assumed would be terrifying or impossible are actually quite manageable, or even enjoyable. Reflection is another powerful tool. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on your thoughts and actions. What assumptions did you make? How did they influence your behavior? Did they help or hinder you? Writing down your reflections can be particularly insightful. You might notice patterns you weren't aware of before. Let's not forget the importance of feedback. Asking for feedback from others can shed light on your blind spots. Sometimes, we're so caught up in our own heads that we can't see things clearly. A trusted friend or mentor can provide a fresh perspective and help us see where our assumptions might be leading us astray. Oh, and here's a fun one. Play the devil's advocate with yourself. For every assumption, argue the opposite. If you think, I'm terrible at public speaking, argue the opposite, I'm actually pretty good at it, and I just need more practice. This helps to dismantle those limiting beliefs and opens up new possibilities. Remember, our brains love to take shortcuts. Assumptions are like mental shortcuts that save us time and effort. But these shortcuts can lead us down the wrong path if we're not careful. By challenging them, we keep our minds sharp and our perspectives fresh. And don't worry about being wrong. Challenging your assumptions doesn't mean you have to get it right every time. It's about the process of questioning and being open to different outcomes. It's about staying flexible and adaptable. So, next time you find yourself assuming the worst, or jumping to a conclusion, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this really true? Challenge that assumption. Flip the script. Seek feedback. Play devil's advocate. And most importantly, stay curious. By regularly challenging your assumptions, you'll find yourself living a more thoughtful and intentional life. You'll be less reactive, more proactive, and better able to focus on what truly matters, your growth and well-being. It's a key step in embracing the Stoic mindset and focusing on yourself rather than others. Number 9. Detach from external validation. You know, it's super common for people to get caught up in what others think of them. It's like this never-ending loop of seeking approval and validation from the outside world. But here's the thing, Stoicism teaches us that this external validation isn't just unnecessary, it can be downright harmful to our well-being. Think about it. When we constantly chase after other people's approval, we're essentially giving away our power. Our happiness, our peace of mind, they all become dependent on the whims of others. And let's be real, people's opinions are fickle. One moment they're praising you, the next they're criticizing you. If you anchor your self-worth to this, you're in for a pretty wild ride. So, how do we detach from this need for external validation? It starts with understanding that true contentment comes from within. The Stoics believe that we should focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our reactions. Everything else, including what others think of us, falls into the category of things we can't control. And if we can't control it, why let it control us? Imagine this, you're working on a project that you're really passionate about. You pour your heart and soul into it. Now, if you're doing it for external validation, you're always going to be on edge. What if people don't like it? What if they criticize it? But if you're doing it because it aligns with your values and brings you joy, then the outcome doesn't hold that same power over you. You've already won because you're staying true to yourself. Epictetus, one of the famous Stoic philosophers, often talked about this. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This mindset shift is crucial. Instead of seeking validation from others, validate yourself. Ask yourself, am I doing my best? Am I acting in line with my principles? If the answer is yes, then external opinions lose their sting. Now, let's get practical. How do you actually practice this detachment in everyday life? One effective method is to practice mindfulness. When you catch yourself seeking external approval, pause and bring your focus back to your internal compass. Reflect on why you're doing what you're doing. Are you looking for applause, or are you following your own path? Another tip is to limit your exposure to social media. It's a breeding ground for comparison and validation seeking. Instead, spend time on activities that bring you intrinsic joy. Whether it's reading, hiking, painting, or simply spending time with loved ones, engage in things that make you happy from the inside out. It's also helpful to surround yourself with people who support your journey of self-discovery. Friends who encourage you to be your authentic self, who appreciate you for who you are, not just for your achievements or how well you fit into a certain mold. Remember, detaching from external validation doesn't mean you become indifferent to others or their feelings. It means you don't let their opinions dictate your self-worth. You can listen to feedback, but you get to choose what to take to heart and what to let go. In essence, embracing this Stoic principle can transform your life. You start living more authentically, with a sense of freedom and inner peace that's not easily shaken by external forces. It's a powerful way to reclaim your power and focus on what truly matters, your own growth and happiness. So, next time you find yourself craving that external pat on the back, take a step back. Remind yourself of your own worth, independent of what others think. You're not here to live up to someone else's expectations. You're here to be the best version of yourself, for yourself. And that, my friend, is more than enough. Number 10. Embrace minimalism in thought and action. You see, minimalism isn't just about having a sleek, clutter-free home with only the essentials. It's a way of life that cuts through the noise and helps us focus on what truly matters. When we apply this to our thoughts and actions, the results can be pretty amazing. Picture this: your mind is like a garden. If you let every weed, every unnecessary thought, grow wild, it becomes chaotic and overwhelming. But if you tend to it carefully, pulling out the weeds and focusing on the beautiful flowers and plants, it becomes a serene, productive space. That's what minimalism does for your mind. First off, let's get into the nitty-gritty of minimalistic thinking. Our brains are constantly bombarded with information, social media updates, news, gossip, worries about the future, regrets about the past. It's a lot. To embrace minimalism in thought, start by filtering out the unnecessary. Ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Is it helping me grow or making me anxious? If it's the latter, it's time to let it go. Imagine how much mental space you'd free up by not worrying about what your colleague thinks of your new haircut or dwelling on that awkward thing you said 5 years ago. Now, here's a little exercise for you. Try a mental declutter. Sit down, close your eyes, and let your thoughts flow. Don't judge them, just observe. After a few minutes, start categorizing them. Which ones are truly important? Which ones are just noise? This practice can help you become more aware of your mental clutter and give you the tools to start clearing it out. Next up, let's talk about actions. Minimalism in action means focusing your energy on what truly matters. Think about it. How often do we waste time on things that don't really add value to our lives? Scrolling mindlessly through social media, engaging in petty arguments, or even just trying to do too many things at once. It's exhausting. By focusing on fewer, more meaningful actions, you can achieve more and feel more fulfilled. Take a moment to reflect on your daily activities. What are the things that truly matter to you? What are the actions that align with your goals and values? Prioritize those. It might mean saying no to a few social invitations or cutting down on Netflix binges, but the payoff is worth it. You'll find that you have more time and energy for the things that really matter, like pursuing a passion, spending quality time with loved ones, or simply taking care of yourself. One of the best ways to practice minimalism in action is through setting clear priorities. Every morning, take a few minutes to jot down your top 3 tasks for the day. Focus on completing these before moving on to anything else. This simple practice can transform your productivity and help you stay aligned with your goals. But let's not forget, minimalism isn't about being perfect. It's about making small, intentional changes that lead to a more focused and fulfilling life. Don't beat yourself up if you slip back into old habits now and then. It's all part of the journey. Celebrate your progress and keep moving forward. And here's a little secret: minimalism can make you happier. When you clear out the mental and physical clutter, you create space for joy and contentment. You start to appreciate the little things: a quiet morning, a good book, a deep conversation. These moments become richer and more meaningful. So, there you have it. Embracing minimalism in thought and action is like giving your mind and life a good spring cleaning. It's about letting go of the excess and focusing on what truly matters. Start small, be patient with yourself, and enjoy the journey. You'll be amazed at how transformative this simple shift can be. Thank you for joining me today as we explored the Stoic wisdom of focusing on ourselves rather than comparing our lives to others. If you found value in this discussion, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need this message. Remember, true growth happens when we direct our energy inward, cultivating our virtues and strengthening our character. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an insightful lesson from the Stoics. Let's build a community of mindful individuals striving for personal excellence. Until next time, keep embracing the Stoic path, and may your journey towards self-improvement be ever fruitful. Stay strong, stay focused, and remember, the only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Take care, and see you in the next video.